Hello, and welcome back to the adventure today. Marty's off on a ride to Sheffield, Alabama, or somewhere, who knows.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to the adventure. Back in Alabama, visiting relatives. Decided to get out and hit another couple of landmarks on my next edition of Landmarks and Lattes. There's actually a new coffee shop that's opened up around here since the last time I was riding. I'm gonna go check out, hopefully, if time permits. 3 cities today. Muscle Shoals, Tuscumbia, Sheffield. That's what we're gonna hit. Gonna go see a Stagecoach stop in Tuscumbia and then head over to Sheffield to a mystery landmark. A lot of people think that it was built to help during malaria. I read some other things that it was built as a water tower to send water up to the old nitrate plant that I vlogged about a few months back. So I'm just gonna go check it out and see what it looks like. It's supposed to be in the shape of an octagon. Anyway, it looks kind of interesting. So let's head over and see if we can check out these 2 landmarks here in North Alabama. So it's mid-February. The weather doesn't look too bad. The computer I got says 76 degrees, 74 degrees. Bike's out at Walmart. Really not a good idea to ride through parking lots, especially a Walmart parking lot if you're familiar with Walmart stores. But I live on the edge sometimes, I guess.
Get your head lifted high. Keep your eyes on the sky. Water drips, water flows, changes shapes of the stone.
It was like Northwest Shoals has bought more big rigs to teach with. That's all I can say.
Tanto bate até que fura, água mole em temperatura. Tanto bate até que fura.
Joan Winston Cooper Rand. It's a pretty old house. I love how they pay tribute to, I guess, the people that originally built the house. I think that's pretty cool. There's a lot of history, as you're seeing as we go, around both, all 3 cities. A lot of history in all 3 of them. So I can only imagine why you'd want to retain that history and name it for the people that founded it. The John Baxter home, another cool house. I imagine when these homes were built, these people had a little bit of money because they're definitely not your typical middle income or low income housing. When I was a kid, that Department of Utilities City of Tuscumbia sign used to flash. The water would run, the electricity would come out. Okay, so landmark number 1 today is this Stagecoach stop. Let's go check that out. Jackson's Military Road. From this location, the Military Road continues south and crossed Spring Creek and ascended Culvert Mountain and passed just west of the present-day Littleville. It proceeded to Good Spring in Franklin County. That would be, well, it's Alabama. It proceeded to Good Spring in Franklin County and on through Russellville Jackson Highway, which is the old US number 43. Go to the 1920s, followed the same basic route. The nearby single pin hewn log cabin is a vestige of Tuscumbia pioneer period. It originally stood on the opposite side of the street and reportedly served as a stagecoach stop on a military road. Dixon Street was named for early Tuscumbia settler Michael Dixon. A U.S. mail line was established, and John Dunley, Sr. of Tuscumbia, was given the contract for carrying the mail. Stagecoaches could travel the military road in 17 days, and stands were built along the way to accommodate travelers. The road became the route over which pioneers poured into northwest Alabama and Mississippi. After the Battle of New Orleans in 1815, General Andrew Jackson proposed this road as a shorter, improved route for military movements between Nashville and New Orleans. The U.S. War Department authorized Jackson to appoint an engineer and procure equipment on August 15, 1816, and Congress appropriated $5,000 to begin construction. The military road was built by about 300 American soldiers over a 3-year period at a construction cost of $300,000. When completed on May 17, 1820, the new road was 483 miles long and 200 miles shorter than the old Natchez Trace. Crossing the Tennessee River at Florence, it entered Sheffield, first known as York Bluff, at Jackson Hollow. The road then passed near Atlanta and Columbia Avenues. As it moved southwest, the military road entered Tuscumbia on Dixon Street and passed near this site. Okay, I'm gonna grab the bike and walk over here. There's to the bluff. You can see the waterfall, a man-made waterfall that I've vlogged this before as well in Spring Park, but I've never seen it from this angle. There's also a miniature frisbee golf. I say miniature. There's a frisbee golf course, it looks like, here as well. Pretty cool. Let's head over to the bluff and check that out. So here's the top side of your man-made waterfall. That's pretty nasty. We're gonna go up here though, if I don't get in trouble. So if you ever wanted to know what the backside of a man-made waterfall looks like, here's your opportunity. Okay, so stagecoach stop is done. We're headed over to the Spring Creek Mystery Lighthouse. I don't think it's a lighthouse, but that's what they call it. Check that out. More logistics, more roads. I just got to figure out where I'm at. So I'll have to stop and check the map, make sure I don't miss a turn somewhere. I'm on the back roads. If I was on the main streets driving, I could probably get there a lot easier, but on a bicycle, that's not a smart thing to do. Talking about a copper roof. That was all decked out. Okay, coming into the third city, Sheffield. Okay, so I got not really a little sidetracked, but I've got my Garmin on the bike, but I didn't put the address in the Garmin. I've got it on my phone, and so it's actually coming up on my watch, but it's not really telling me good directions from the watch standpoint. And I'm running Google Maps. Probably should be running Apple Maps, but Google Maps seems to be better from a cycling standpoint in areas like this. So I had to sidetrack a little bit, but that's okay, and look at my phone just to get a good bearing at where I need to go next. And I think I'm good. I may have to stop one more time just so I don't miss another turn. Maybe I should have put it in the Garmin just to see how it would have routed me. Okay, down a one-way road. So headed down to the creek, I guess. I didn't plan to have to ride back up this. This is a one-way, so I'm hoping there's another way out. I'm sure there is. I think people still come down here and put their boat in the dock or off the ramp, boat ramp. Yeah, we can go back up that way. Oh yeah, there. If you see through the trees, that's the mystery lighthouse.
Work I paused.
You can see where they would think it was a lighthouse. There's windows up on the top side of it where you could put a light and it could rotate in there. It's a little muddy down through here, so but I'm on the banks of the river. And there's creepy crawly things out now that it's starting to warm up, so I've got to kind of watch out for them as well. But I want to get on this side. Pretty impressive. But you can see there's like a water line coming out of it or going up to it. So maybe it was like just a water tower that they were pulling water from the creek and sending it up to the nitrate plant. I could understand that. I think I like the Mystery Lighthouse version of it better. But that's usually how folklore goes, right? Okay, so I put my parents' address in the Garmin this time. I'm going to see how it takes me back. I kind of know what roads to avoid if I see them. So let's see how the Garmin takes me back. And of course, I'm coming out of the creek bottom, and that's a pretty good climb. So I'm a little winded, if you can tell. Okay, so far it's taking me back the way that I came, so that's not a bad thing. The roads were pretty good. Okay, we're back in Tuscumbia, and so far the Garmin has done pretty good. I think I may have missed a turn. It rerouted me. I was supposed to go like on a West Avalon, and now I'm going on car behind me doing 38 miles an hour though, in a 25, but he gave me plenty of room, so we'll be okay, I guess. Anyway, so I think I was supposed to turn back there a little bit, but the Garmin's rerouted me, and now I've got to turn on a Westmore Street. So one of the big historical figures in the Tuscumbia history is Helen Keller. This is where Helen Keller was born. I haven't done a landmark there yet because I want to go tour it, and I'm not 100% sure if there's a place to where I can really lock up a bike. Plus I only brought a little cafe lock, but one of these days soon my plan is to do a landmark and latte episode for there. But as I'm heading back to my parents' house, I did pass by, which I believe was probably the old log cabin. I don't know if it's where her teacher stayed or if it's the quarters, you know, for all the help, but it's definitely not the main house. Or it could have been her house when she was born and they just moved to a different house. Anyway, here's what the log cabin on the grounds of the Helen Keller birthplace looks like. And like I said, hopefully the next time we come back this way, I'll remember to bring a different bike, or at least a lock that I can lock up the Brompton or whatever I bring to a pole or a tree or something, and go take you guys through Helen Keller's birthplace. Okay, so the Garmin has taken me to this street called Cave, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I turn left, which is what it's wanting me to do, it takes me out to one of the major roads in the city. I don't really want to be on that road. It does have a bike lane, but it's still not, it's a very busy road. And if you can avoid it, then you just avoid it. So again, the Garmin knows where it's going. And if you're not from this area and you had to rely on it, it would be okay. But since I know the traffic around here pretty well, I'm not taking my chances and going up that way. I'm gonna disregard what the Garmin says, and I'm gonna go back the route that I came this way on. It's a little bit safer. Even at the intersection that I've got to get on this road, Avalon, it's still not as bad as, you know, riding it for a mile and a half, 2 miles. So we'll go right here and see if the Garmin redirects. If not, then I'm just going to take the roads that I know. Looks like high school tennis going on. Okay, back in Muscle Shoals, the Garmin kept trying to feed me a different direction. Once I got to where I was the last time that I talked to you, I kind of knew where I was going to go from there, so I just went back the route that I knew that was probably the safest. All right, so landmarks have been discovered, and now I'm off to discover a latte. This is a new coffee shop, like I said, in the area.
What do you say?
Okay, so the coffee shop that I was going to does not open until the 1st of March. So we're gonna go to a coffee shop that we've been to in the past. Okay, latte, and I had an apple danish, or apple fritter. I had an apple fritter. So latte and apple fritter taken care of. Headed back to my parents' house. A really good ride today. I hope you enjoyed seeing another couple of landmarks here in North Alabama in the Shoals area. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for more notifications. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next adventure.